61-year-old lady comes into the emergency room at about 3 o'clock in the morning with shortness of breath, chest pain, acute onset, woke up out of sleep. This is a flash on the monitor at the doctor's station that just popped up. This AI truly defines point of care. The chronology is what I bragged about for years. I do a great job, and most of you guys do too, I'm sure. Google has come up with something called MedPalm 2. Mayo Clinic is using it. This is real, this is happening today. Are you reading between the lines what I'm about to tell you next? A 61-year-old lady comes into the emergency room at about 3 o'clock in the morning with shortness of breath, chest pain, acute onset, woke up out of sleep, chest pain, shortness of breath, 61-year-old. So she's a smoker, maybe MI, EKG, of course we did all the basic stuff. Then we looked and, oh, the entire left leg is swollen. I mean, like, just swollen. So, okay, probably a DVT, short of breath, acute chest pain. All of us in this room can predict where I'm going with this, right? Is that this patient probably has PE until proven otherwise. So then, the patient on the monitor, of course, the vital signs, she's hypoxic. Her SATs are like in the 80s, so they gave her a couple of liters. When you listen to her, her lung sounds clear. Of course, they gave her a breathing treatment because but she really didn't need it. It was more of a cosmetic, right? So you get sort of, if you were reviewing this chart, then you feel like, wow, they're gonna say, we gave the breathing treatment, but she didn't need it. Right? Her lungs were clear, right? There's swelling, we gave her Lasix. No, she didn't need it. That was a DVT. The swelling was not from a CHF. Lungs were clear. Something else is at part causing the hypoxia. This patient again lands up getting a CTA, right, with IV contrast to look for PE. So how many of you are great at reading CT scans, right? And so I say the same thing. I'm good, but nothing more than that, right? So if you gave me the CT scan, I would might miss it. I have a very high chance of missing the PE, even though I know there's a PE in my heart because of the way the patient presented. So now, this is a flash on the monitor at the doctor's station that just popped up. And it says, suspect PE. Actually, what it's really saying, bozo, this is PE. I mean, that's what it's saying, right? But it says suspect PE, okay? And then it actually, of course, has a legal disclosure. You don't use this for diagnostic purposes, all of that. But so now I'm like, I knew it was PE. It's telling me it's PE. Is it like, okay, so what do I call the pulmonologist, I call the ICU, I call the interventional radiologist. They can ask me where, right? Now I got to comb through 300 slides and predict, like I think I know where this is. Gets better. It actually tells you right here on the bottom left-hand corner. Look at slide 117 of 317. So that really tells you, hey, bozo, right here, right? So who did all this? Do you remember when we used to send the 2 o'clock in the morning, you get a CAT scan, read, you get what's that, wet read? Right? Everyone remember that? Wet read. Then at 8 o'clock in the morning, they may change their mind, right? So there's an accuracy issue there, right? Whatever that accuracy rate is, it may be 98% accurate, but there's that 2%, 1%, half percent chance that you're gonna get a different read in the morning. You could send the patient home and then you gotta call them back. So what is the accuracy rate of this methodology? What do you think? This is AI. And the more importantly, this is read within 30 seconds of the films getting into the system. Anybody say no? Yeah, I think this is clearly better outcomes. This is the way we should be going. So technology is there. So, when we talk about point of care, this is definition of point of care. When blood sugars came out at bedside, I don't know, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, we were like, wow, we can get blood sugars, right? And then the EMS started getting blood sugars in the field. Then it was just like the vital signs is an evolution, right? It's thousands of years ago, they said, oh, the guy's breathing fast, and the pulse is fast because they feel the pulse, and the person's hot, they're obese, or they're malnourished. I mean, those are vital signs. And eventually we got better and better and better. We got blood pressure, the weight, the BMI, and we added what? Pulse ox. 20 years ago, was there pulse ox on the vital signs? No. We didn't. That was because it was too expensive. Now you can get a pulse ox on Amazon for $15. Right? So it's evolution. So point of care is where this is all going. So if you look at the point of care, where we were, where we are, and where this is point of care. Why do we do point of care? We do it because we want accurate diagnosis as much as possible, and we want it now. Right? That's really, it start the treatment therapy now. That's why, so the point of care, this AI truly defines point of care. Right? I mean, if you think about where this is, and this is, again, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but it's here. So when you look at your chronology and timeline that you have now, and this is not meant for you process, I kept, this is what you do. You put all the timeline, what happened, what sequence, right? But what if your case that you reviewed did not have AI? Then the report would have come somewhere like 7:30. I forgot where the report is around here. 7:51, the report came in. All right, and this was an actual report that came in. And then the D-dimers were more than 20. Low 1-ox ordered at 5 o'clock in the morning. The CT was around 5, 6 o'clock. Got it done, and the report didn't come for an hour and a half. So now, if you're reviewing this case, and you say, well, the report didn't come for an hour and a half, did it make an impact? Right? Is that a problem? I mean, you could make the chronology look beautiful, and the other person receiving it, they say you did a great job. You went through 1,000 pages of records, and I got all the information. I know the story. I know the timeline. You did a great job. But really, we need to go back into this and say, where can we have improved? Not what was done, what could be done, what should have been done. Not right. The coulda, woulda, shoulda, it's like what should be done. And so when you break this down, and so the chronology is what I bragged about for years. I do a great job, and most of you guys do too, I'm sure. Google has come up with something called MedPalm 2. It's not coming, it is here, because Mayo Clinic is using it. Is for residents to comb through medical records. So they could be in a patient's room, and with they have called AI pin. You wear a lapel pin, and you could just talk into it and say, what was the hemoglobin 6 months ago? It'll be able to tell you, like like a conversation, not wait 10 seconds, let me pull it out. It's like that. What was the creatinine? So, I mean, this is real. This is happening today. So when you look at this, and I was talking to some of the residents, and they said that they actually use it to comb through charts. Are you reading between the lines what I'm about to tell you next?
They don't need us.
Do they?
They don't need us.
Right? If MedPalm 2 is doing this for Mayo Clinic, it's working and streamlining their operations and cutting the residents' time. They're short-staffed. Everyone's short-staffed. If it's cutting their time, saving them time, why not? It works, right? So, and you said it, Judy. I mean, like, it's putting my bells and whistles say, whoa, wait. Am I really going to be doing this 2 years from now? It's just a matter of time and cost, right? The quality's there. So now what's the cost to use this is where this is going to land up. So I want to share this clip with you.
Maverick. 30 plus years of service. Combat medals. Citations. Only man to shoot down 3 enemy planes in the last 40 years. Distinguished. 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 Yet you can't get a promotion, you won't retire, and despite your best efforts, you refuse to die. You should be at least a 2-star admiral by now, if not a senator. Yet here you are. Captain. Why is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
This isn't a joke. I asked you a question.
I'm where I belong, sir.
Well, the Navy doesn't see it that way. Not anymore. These planes you've been testing, Captain, one day, sooner than later, they won't need pilots at all. Pilots that need to sleep, eat, take a piss. Pilots that disobey orders. All you did was buy some time for those men out there. The future is coming, and you're not in it. The end is inevitable, Maverick. Your kind is headed for extinction.
How many of you saw that movie? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you pick up on that?